plays, John Madden. It's so many give it Sunday magic. Lights came prime time action. Run it up, touchdown, I'm snapping. In the field with the plays, John Madden. It's so many give it Sunday magic.
Take the Lincoln Tunnel through Weehawken, through Secaucus, across the Hackensack River, and you'll arrive, as we have, at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today, it's a Week 9 matchup set to go here between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? This will be fielded inside the 5. And able to get this out to the 25. Now Hall to start the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And now the Bills are going to stop it as they call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Now it's Wilson. Throw left side complete. That's Hall. Finding room at midfield. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 39 yards there, a big one. And I think that's a pretty good illustration of why they try to get the football into his hands out of the backfield. That was something else.
And we talk so much from a defensive perspective about scheming and finding ways to take away the run. That means the offense has to devise different ways to get the ball in the hands of their guy out of the backfield. Find open space, let him run, and big things can happen, and they did right there.
And if you're wondering how fast he was going, Next Gen Stats clocked him at close to 21 miles an hour. So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. The Jets at 3 and 5, 2 games under 500. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Wilson. And that one going to come up short. Low throw.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
They got to get to the 23 here on 3rd. To throw is Wilson. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
But one of the things we talked about coming into this was we were never going to question the fight that he's going to have for all 4 quarters of a game. But ideally, you want him fighting for big plays and first downs early, not fighting just to get back to the line of scrimmage, as we saw right there.
And Zuerlein pulled it. Zuerlein pulled it. It's no good. Wide left.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
So the missed field goal, and now they're in great shape. They'll start at the 38. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39. This defense for the Jets, they were strong last week, CD, and that went over New England.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one. But 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Oh, I saw this one with defensive eyes because even as he escaped the pocket and bought time, the coverage stayed tight. Nothing broke down. Throwing it away, that was his only option.
After an incomplete pass on second down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Allen works right side into the hands of the tight end, Knox. And he'll only get this to about the 44 as they stop him short of the line to gain. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. The Jets have Braxton Berrios back deep. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. 35 yards that time on the punt. And the Jets will take over. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CD, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
On second down, a run with Hall. A 4-yard pickup that gets them going forward, but still 15 yards left on 3rd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day. The Bills bring out a couple of extra defensive backs to defend this 3rd down play.
Yeah, they're going dime. Wilson. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up. Now the Jets send on Braden Mann to punt. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Shedding the tackler, that gives him some room. We'll call that a 49-yard punt, but a net of just 39 following the 10-yard return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team, and that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs. So they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. On play action, Allen rolling to his right. He's got a man, complete. A big play here for Buffalo. 51 yards.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure's good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
They run here with Singletary. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Bills touchdown. Devin Singletary with his 6th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bills are on the board first here this afternoon.
And as many coaches' meetings as we sit in, we hear the word finish all the time, don't we? And on that play, the back actually finished getting into the end zone, breaking the last tackle. Tried to wrap up, tried to use the proper technique, just wasn't able to get it done.
Tyler Bass on for the extra point attempt. And we'll see if this rain affects the team's decisions going forward, but they kick it here, and it's good. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This is taken just shy of the 10. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. Now, they entered play on a 2-game win streak, and then they've got the open date on their schedule next week, so this is a group that's really looking to hit the break on a high note.
And this will obviously be a tough game for them, but go ahead and play this out with me, partner.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer, and they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape, he's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They run on first down with Singletary. Oh, he sheds himself free. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Devin Singletary with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Bills are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good. And it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Second and 9. Here's Wilson. That's into a crowd and intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
So after the INT, it's Allen. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And they're going to move it down to inside the 25. Well, speed is definitely a calling card if you play cornerback in this league, and he does a terrific job there of hustling in quickly to make the play.
And you can just see that whole play developing. That's where, as a defender, you just lock in on your target and say, I'm not even thinking about breaking stride. I'm running straight for the belt buckle, because where it goes, that's where you find his body, and he's able to get in there and make a great play.
That's complete to Davis, and he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage, because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Throwing is Allen on third. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. Carl Lawson racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. So on fourth down, out is Tyler Bass in the Buffalo field goal unit. It'll be a 49-yard attempt from the left hash. And this is not going to be anywhere close. No good. Way wide to the left. And this will remain a two-touchdown game.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
After the missed kick, they're in really good position. They'll begin this drive at the 39 now. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He completes that to Garrett Wilson. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. And he is going to score. It's a pick-6 and a Bills touchdown. Well, no surprise to see that one, partner. The league's #1 defense coming through with a huge pick-6.
And it's plays like that one that have made them the most feared group to face this year. Offenses, they're trying to figure out how to work around them rather than work through them. Big-time impact playmakers scattered throughout the unit on every level, and they can change a game at a moment's notice.
Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 21-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6. And now the kick is away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Play action. Now Wilson. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11. This offense continues to shoot themselves in the foot. And here, another sack.
All game long, we've seen missed assignments, which have led to turnovers, sacks. This group has not played well at all here in the first half.
Here we go.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. On the draw, it's Hall. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. On 3rd down, here's Hall. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. The offense knew it. They were already starting to walk back as that one is accepted. On 4th down, punt coming from Braden Mann. This is taken at the 18. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. 31 yards on the punt there. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And he wisely will throw that one away.
So many times we've seen him try to escape the pocket and do something with his legs, but in this case, the pressure was too intense, and he made the wise choice to just get rid of the football and make sure no one was going to get it.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. To the air, Allen. He'll get this out wide to Singletary. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
A gain of 14. First down, Bills.
Allen now on 1st down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And the Jets are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you've got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. They start near midfield following the interception as they begin 1st and 10. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Gregory Rousseau Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10.
Well, someone is certainly having a big game, and while that sack doesn't quite have the splash of his pick six from earlier, you know he's thrilled to be making big plays during a great individual effort today.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Wilson fires quickly for Davis. And he is going to lose yardage here. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the shotgun, Wilson. Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
A 14-yard gain. It's 4th down.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the 2nd half. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. On 1st down, Allen. Isaiah McKenzie hauling it in. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Fresh out of the locker room, they hit him with a gain of over 20.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not, because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Allen going to give this one to Singletary. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Singletary again. And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line. So 1st and 10. And if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our 2nd half blowout material. From the gun, it's Allen. Going deep for Diggs. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Stephon Diggs, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. A very comfortable lead. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it. Pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 19-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession.
The CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in it.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third-quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield, and there's another completion.
First down, here's the run with Cook. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. A gain of 3, second down.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. A give up the middle to Singletary. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Singletary will score. Touchdown, Buffalo.
Some good running there at the end of the drive. He had the burst that set up the 1st and goal, and then one play later, he's in the end zone.
Brandon, what I liked about that sequence is I'm not sure who made the play call, but they understood the situation, understood the momentum. A nice hard-charging run, give it right back to him, and let him cap things off.
After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away.
From the 6. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable now. A win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles. But I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Ball again on 2nd down. And again, this Buffalo defense there in run support to stop him behind the line. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A 3rd down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. They'll set up the screen for Hall. Good contain. No gain on the screen, and it'll bring up 4th down.
And I know that one didn't work out the way they thought, but I don't think it was a bad time to call this play. You're thinking on 3rd down, you might possibly see some pressure. You might see a blitz. So they tried to set up the screen, but that one was well read, and they stopped them for no gain.
And this will be down just on the other side of midfield.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
Well, they got to be thrilled with how they've operated so far in this one. They've got the nice lead, and now a chance to score here on 3 straight possessions.
Yeah, and the way that they are rolling, I just don't know how they get slowed down, because they certainly are operating in peak efficiency right now. They might want to think about giving some of their backups a little bit of work, though. Let some other guys get on the field and do their thing and save some of this for the next time out.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now Allen. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And they'll get this just to the 47. 1-yard gain.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran it a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Throwing now is Allen. Looking for Diggs, and it's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. And the Jets are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
After the interception, here's Wilson. And my goodness, another interception. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And a great return here gets this one all the way down to the 26-yard line. And you have to wonder, Charles, a game like this, 5 interceptions, what does this do to the psyche of a young quarterback?
Well, based on the fact that he's still out there and he threw a 5th interception, I'm wondering if his head coach believes that he's really strong mentally and wants him to play through it. Because otherwise, you need to get him out and fight another day, because this could leave lasting damage if he keeps throwing interceptions.
Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
And they will not have time to get another play in here as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Alert, alert, alert!
Allen now looks to throw. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Brought down by multiple defenders, and it's a loss of 12.
Okay, I'm not sure you could actually draw a better pass rush than that one right there. Nowhere to go outside. He had to keep backing up and backing up and backing up. Eventually dropped for a huge loss.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Uncorks one for Davis. Touchdown, Bills. Gabriel Davis, 37 yards. And the Bills are closing in on a 6-2 start as they extend this 4th quarter advantage. Tyler Bass now for the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive.
Their mini two-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Meanwhile, Wilson's throw complete there to Berrios.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. They'll give to Hall.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line.
So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory, right at the 40. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Here's Wilson.
He gets it underneath to Hall.
And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
From midfield now, here's Wilson.
There's Hall bringing in another one.
And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, it certainly looked like they had that play defended well, but it still almost worked. Got it to the running back. He wound up getting really good yardage out of it. But it was 3rd and long, and they were able to rally and stop him before he could get to the marker.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
They'll go for it. It's Hall.
And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. The Jets try it, but the 4th down play doesn't work. And the Bills are going to get the football back.
Partner, when you see a running play stop short like that, you just know that the defensive front, they won the battle of leverage and created the push back into the opposing backfield.
And for the offensive coordinator, whether you had 1 yard to go or 20 yards to go on 4th down, now you're probably saying, oh, maybe I should have passed it, right?
Yeah, hindsight is always 20/20.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
They go right back to Singletary. And only a couple for him there as the tackle is made at the 42.
The Bills on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. Here it's 3rd and 2. Here's Allen. And that is incomplete.
But this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. He wasn't really big on that. He was big on going ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
So they're going for it, and here's Allen.
And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far.
Picked up by Jordan Whitehead. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. Now Wilson on 1st down. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down.
Ed Oliver that time, the one to get in there and bring him down.
Let's go ahead and put check marks by it all, partner. No points. Down by 4 touchdowns. Haven't had anything going today on offense. Why not add a late sack to the mix? Obviously a day to forget for all involved. Let's give plenty of credit to this defensive effort. They've been excellent from
under pressure again, and down he goes again. Von Miller, he's the one that drops him this go-around, and that pass rush getting strong here, back-to-back sacks.
Partner, my vocabulary isn't that great, but to me, there's only one word that fits this front seven today, and that's dominant. 4 and 5 sacks is already rare in one game. Getting to more than 6 in one contest while winning by this many points, an absolutely astounding effort by every player involved.
This pass out wide to Hall.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
And now here is another interception. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard, they just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, in on the stop.
So not just a blowout win for them today, Charles, but a shutout blowout win as well. Clearly just a superior effort on both sides of the ball.
Hey, didn't it feel like you get a touchdown, you get a touchdown, and then the defense jumped up and said, hold it, we're getting involved as well. You're exactly right. Big points, both sides contributing, a full team win.
So for Buffalo,
they run their mark to 6-2 on the year.
And they will head home next week to take on the Minnesota Vikings. Meanwhile, for the Jets, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11.